What is good? What is good? So we're looking at the NASDAQ on the monthly, right? It's a new month, new week, super exciting. And we're looking at the structure on the monthly. And as you see, I've already entered a position, right? Risking 1,000 to make 3,800, a little bit over a 1 to 3. And we entered right at some of this key structure here, right? Very key structure right here. And once I bring up the rest, you'll see why as well. But this is essentially the monthly highs and lows. All right, we have some highs here that we broke to the upside on the monthly, right? These are the highs from June 2024. We have July 2024 highs as well. We did break above. First we wicked, couldn't quite do it. Finally broke above. Well, after this wick as well. So this is a pretty good sign that price does want to continue bullish, allegedly, but the fact that we didn't really hold up here for too long, this could just be a sweep, because on a higher time frame, this is definitely a wick. So liquidity was definitely swept here, and we have to understand, are we gonna either sweep these lows here on the way down and then reverse and back to the upside, which would solidify, us continuing in this uptrend? Or again, is this just the overall sweep of liquidity at the highs to bring us much lower? The reason why I say that is because if I draw the fib from these lows to the highs, 50% is essentially a retest of previous all-time highs back from 2021, 2022. Right in here, it's essentially the retest. So if you look at monthly structure, right, higher high, higher low, higher high, technically a lower low could still be here. And we can even still get some major accumulation to then take us to new all-time highs. Like, this is very possible. But all we can do is follow the structure that we have currently. I know today on the news, or I believe Bank of America or someone announced on the Wealth Instagram, they said the S&P 500 lost over $800 million today. $800 billion today. And that was just off of, let's go to the daily time frame real quick. This isn't the S&P, but this is NASDAQ, but still, they're pretty similar. But, 800 points. Is 800 points to the downside $800 billion? Like, so for the market to come all the way back down here, that's if that's 800 billion, then this is probably like a few trillion down here. But that's very possible. So the reason why we are in this trade here is because we are retesting monthly structure right in here. If you look here, this is a high. If you really zoom in, right, this is a high that we tried to break above here, couldn't quite do it, finally broke above with this full body candle and this high as well. So we broke two monthly highs, full body candle, and so that's a very good sign of bullishness. Now we are retesting that structure here. We liquidated the previous month lows, and then we left some more liquidity pretty much equal with the lows from November 2024. So now it's equal lows here, right? And every wick you see is liquidity. So now they're overlapping. That's essentially an area where price could sweep and then continue higher. So that's why the stop loss is giving space for these lows to be swept. And if not these previous month lows, then these lows. And if none of these liquidity sweeps are enough to allow price to, reverse back to the upside, then I'll wait for the next trade, because, either it probably wants to take this monthly low or this one. And by that point, we're reaching these levels. So that's why I'm willing to give some room for fluctuation here. And looking at the weekly, you see it a little bit more clear. I believe it's, so the monthly low is this one. It wasn't this one, bet. All right, same thing. All right, so again, that's those equal lows at this point. Again, the weekly structure as well. You can see it on the weekly. Let's go to the daily. Now you see it more clear. And this is also where Trump was announced as the president around November 4th, right? November 4th, and then price flew over 1,200 points to liquidate these highs, these previous all-time highs. Almost no drawdown, the best place to counter trend trade and take buys. Hence, that's why we have these lows here for the sweep and continue, right? But minimal drawdown, very clean drop back into the previous accumulation. Again, we had liquidity right here, sweep, Trump gets announced, boom, we break structure to the upside above these highs, liquidate these highs, sweeping liquidity, came back for the retest, filling in balance, then broke above these highs, and then slowly worked our way back down to retest this accumulation schematic. And we were in these buys, eating happily, and then we eventually came back down to retest this structure once more, liquidating all these lows, right? So now we have this structure here that we're in to potentially give us another setup to then push higher. We shall see. We don't really know just yet. Waiting for more confirmation before any positions are going to be added on. And again, if we're looking at this whole structure here, this is still standing up on business. We have lows, highs, sweep, break above, right? We broke above these highs, came back down, swept some more lows here, swept some more liquidity, and then we eventually broke above and continued higher. So far so good. We shall see. Let's take a look closer real quick before I let you guys go. Going to the 4 hour. This was the trade that we were in this morning. This is 4 hour structure. We had lows here. We have highs. We sweep here with the wick. We sweep this liquidity. And then we eventually do break above. Full body candle above these highs here and these highs. Full body candle. We liquidate these highs here. Okay, we liquidate this morning. We liquidate those highs. And then we immediately drop. And then we come back to liquidate these lows. So sellers were taken out and buyers. Both sides of liquidity were swept. But we never closed beneath these lows with a full body candle. So technically this trade is still valid. That's another reason why I'm in this, because it looks pretty good. And there was 2 candles that closed within the setup here, right? This first candle that liquidated it, the next one also closed within. So this one may continue. Of course, we want to see, well, first we have to break these highs on the previous 4 hour candle and then eventually work our way up. But once we break, these highs, that's going to add some confidence and evidence. And then these highs here, very similar story. Now we're on the 1 hour time frame. Looking at this in more depth. Definitely need to break above, these highs here. That'll give us some more clarity. And then as price works its way up, I want to see a break above here. Maybe one more pullback and then continuation. Just doing that top down while we have some more highs. We need to break above here. All this needs to get breaking above. Right? We have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And we have some lower lows here. And then we finally break some structure, changing character. Right? These are the first 2 highs that get broken above with the full body candle on the 15-minute, right? So lower low, some changes of character down here. But of course, breaking above these highs would give even more of that solidified change of character. But these are some low risk trades you would take since you are closer, to the lows than trying to take it from up here, the continuation. So these are some very low risk trades if you do believe that price will continue. If you need that extra confirmation, there's nothing wrong with waiting for price to break above here, or even the all-time highs up in here, or these highs here to really give you that extra boost. But it doesn't hurt getting into under leveraged test trade here once you understand, some structure and understand what's actually going on down there. But that's essentially what we have here for the NASDAQ. Again, this trade is still technically valid, but it's up to you. Right now, I'm in personally, but I'm still going to be looking for that break of structure up in there. But this is holding out so far. So I'll see you guys in the morning, 6 a.m. Well, 6:25 for the New York session. Super excited. Let's see where this goes between tonight and tomorrow morning.